Hello everyone, well it's another Dyson to unbox today. This is model DC28C Musclehead. Now if you check back on my channel, I've already unboxed and demonstrated the standard DC28C and I wasn't that impressed with it, especially on pet hair. I don't think this will be much better on pet hair, but we'll soon find out when I do a review. But it does have the additional Musclehead, which I've not had any experience of. So I think this machine itself is basically the same as the standard DC28C. It comes with the regular head as well as the Musclehead. But even the Musclehead that's included with this model has been replaced by a newer version. I only bought this because it was going cheap. Well, cheap for a Dyson anyway. I think it was about £150 because this is a discontinued model now. The later Dysons, of course, have to comply with the latest EU regulations, as all vacuum manufacturers who sell in the EU have to comply. Right, so let's just get this wrap off. And so yes, I've been going a bit Dyson crazy of late. I don't think you'll notice on my channel because I've separated all the Dysons I've bought, but you know, this past month there's been quite a lot of Dysons turning up at my door. But because I know some of you might get fed up seeing Dysons all the time, I've had to stagger the unboxings. Now here we go. The instruction book. Let's have a quick look at the energy label. So it gets an A for energy use, using on average 28 kilowatt hours per annum. It's pretty noisy at 84 decibels, so obviously it's too loud for the regulations we have now. The maximum is at 80 decibels. That's the allowable maximum decibel level of a vacuum. Gets an A rating for dust emissions. It gets a D for dust pickup from carpet, and it gets an A for dust pickup from a hard floor. Okay, let's get it out the box. That's unusual. That's normally something you have to clip on. That's the handle, but often you have to put that on yourself, but that's already fitted. So that's your hand grip, incorporating the trigger suction release. Then we've got, I think this is the Musclehead? No, this is the regular head. So this is the same head that was supplied with the regular DC28C. So this is what Dyson would class as a full-sized canister vacuum. Yes, that looks just the same. It does incorporate the max minimum slider control. So if it's too difficult to push on max, you need to slide it to that setting, but to get the ratings that are printed on the EU label, I'm sure it would have been used in the max setting. Next out of the box, we've got the small tools. So this comes, let's get it open. This comes with your combination nozzle, which is a combination crevice and dusting tool. And you also get your stair/upholstery nozzle. It's quite a narrow little nozzle, that, with one litter picker, that red stripe there, that's supposed to help pick up pet hair, etc. Of course, you can buy any of the optional accessories you want. You can buy the tangle-free turbine brush, you can buy dedicated hard floor nozzles, all sorts of different nozzles you can get direct from Dyson. And that's your little caddy that holds the two small tools onto the wand. Next out of the box is the Musclehead, which I've never had any experience of, so it'll be interesting to see if this works more effectively than the standard one. So basically, it's an automatic nozzle. Nothing new, a self-adjusting head. Electrolux were doing it back in the 70s with their 345, and some earlier cleaners, their 330, had an adjustable head. This one might be a little bit more sophisticated, but it's a very unusual looking nozzle. Look at that base plate. And you can see, listen. It's almost as if it's breathing. So it does use a pneumatic air type adjustment, I think, somehow. Don't know if I'm supposed to take that off. I probably will at some point. There's a little sticker on there. But it is supposed to adjust automatically from carpets to hard floors. So as you're cleaning, if you're cleaning your living room and then you go into your kitchen, it should lower the brush, or probably not lower the brush. What it will probably do is raise the central part so the brush is in contact with the floor. I think that's how it'll work. So that's new to me anyway. There's some little device there, I'm not sure what that's about, but I'm sure I'll find out. It's quite a nice looking nozzle. They have redesigned this though for the latest Dyson canister versions. There's a new type of nozzle. It's probably very similar to that one. Then you've got your plastic wand, of course, quite light, telescopic, so you can adjust it. And this top part is where you clip the little caddy to hold the small accessories, and everything fits in on a Dyson with the nice secure click action like that, so that stays secure until you press the little button to release. And finally, the cleaner itself. Come on. Yeah, they've packed the plug separately. They don't make it easy. There we go. The plug is in a little separate section, I assume, to prevent any damage to the cleaner while it's in transit from Malaysia, which is where this is made. Oops. So there we go. So let's remove this protective cover. Let's take the bin out first. We've got very nice blue colour for the Cyclone. Here's the bin. Maximum fill line is just about there, look. So to empty the bin, obviously once you've released it from the machine, you can carry it by that little handle there, and then you press the red button on the top and the bin opens. I did find when I was emptying the bin of my other DC28C, but because it's like a bowl shape, a lot of the dirt can just stay in the bin, so you do need to sort of tilt it a bit more to make sure it's thoroughly emptied. Like all Dysons, you can clean the bin out a bit more thoroughly, because especially if you're a pet owner, you might find hairs getting wrapped between the mesh shroud and the outer bin. So when you open the bin, it does reveal a little silver catch. Press that and you can remove the outer bin like that, so you can give that a wipe over, and then you've got access to the shroud, which you need to keep clear. So you can use another vacuum cleaner if you've got one to hand, or just use the brush attachment on the combination nozzle to keep that clean. And again, you can give it all a wipe around the seals. I find using one of those surface wipes is a good thing to use. It doesn't over wet the surface. Make sure though, whatever you use, whether it's a damp cloth or a wet wipe, make sure it's 100% dry before reassembling. And then to reassemble, it's the same as with many Dysons I've shown you. There's two little nodules that stick out there that correspond with two holes on the bin, so you just have to locate that into the front. It's a bit tricky. There we go. Push it back until it clicks. Is that it? There we go, that's clicked in. And then you can reassemble it onto the cleaner. There is a filter to wash. I think Dyson recommend once a month for that. Rinse it under running water, give it a bit of a squeeze. Make sure that's dry, don't dry it over any direct heat. Pop it back in, then you can just locate the bin and then close this top part. So that should be all the maintenance you need to do on a Dyson like this. There is no external filter, there's no final filter. There will be a final filter. In fact, there is a final filter in here, but it's not user accessible or washable. You've got automatic cord rewind, of course. It's pretty standard on the Dyson canisters, so you can rewind the cord by pressing on here. And you've got your on-off switch there, and at the back here is your little parking bracket, so you can attach either the Musclehead or the regular head. It will just park there if you just need to pause your cleaning. Is there anything else to show you on the cleaner itself? Not sure. Just take the bin off again. This is what you press to access the bin, this little silver button here. That releases this arm, and then you can take the bin off. And if you have any blockages, this is probably where it will occur. So you have a bit more access. You can put a blunt, flexible instrument down there if you get a blockage in this part. As you can see, articulates from side to side, and the two large wheels and two smaller wheels give it manoeuvrability. Let's check the wattage of this particular one. This is only a 750 watt motor, so it does comply with the EU regulations, but where it fails is of course in the noise level. But as far as energy use, that would comply with the maximum wattage allowable now. You've also got a little caster wheel here, look, at the front, just underneath the part that articulates. So there we go. Let's connect up the hose, put the bin back on. Let's open that again. It's a little bit fiddly to get the bin on, I found, but once you get the hang of it, make sure it's located properly. That will click down. The hose will fit just into here, and again it's a nice secure click. Just make sure it's clicked properly in place. So now you can use the machine. Of course, if you need to release the hose, there's two buttons either side, so that's easy to do. Again, it clicks back into place, and then you can click the nozzles. If you want to click the small nozzles, they will fit directly onto the handle like that, but it'll also fit directly onto the hose end. If we take the handle off, you can see that the small tools will fit. So that's useful if you're cleaning the car or in any confined space. Just gives you a little bit more flexibility to get into those nooks and crannies, especially if you attach the combi tool. You can use that down the sides of your chairs and things in your car and in your home. But we'll pop the handle back on. Again, it clicks into place like that, and then we can pop the wand in place like this. So there it is, fully assembled. I've got the Musclehead on board. The only thing I have to do now is just attach the little caddy, pop it a bit lower. I always put it up too high. You've got to pop it down fairly low, otherwise the combi nozzle gets in the way. And it shows you which side to put which nozzle. They just clip in place like that, the combi and the stair nozzle. So there we go, they're clipped in, secure on board. So I think once you get this cleaner, if you get a similar machine, I think you'll either, depending on your preference, you'll either keep the Musclehead on all the time, or you'll keep this head. I don't think you'll need to access both. It'll just depend on which works better in your home. But whichever one you don't use, I'm sure that will remain unused. And I think in my case, this nozzle will remain unused, and I'll be using more of the Musclehead due to the fact that it is automatic. Okay, let's plug it in, see how noisy this Dyson is. It doesn't sound too bad, the noise level. I know it's over 80 decibels, but it's not unpleasant. But later Dysons are much quieter. For example, the Dyson Lightball Upright is at 80 decibels, and that sounds a lot quieter, and that's quite a pleasant sounding vacuum. But I'm sure the newer Dyson cylinders that are coming onto the market will be quieter. Okay, I'm just going to have a quick go with the Musclehead. Just adjust the tube. Right, let's see how easy it is to push. that is easy to push, I must say. Now I'll just try the regular head, which I did find harder to push with the standard DC28C. Let's make sure I've got it on carpet mode. That's as easy to push as the Musclehead, but of course it is on the minimum setting, because you can hear when you're using it, you can hear a lot of airflow around the nozzle, so it's not all being directed to the base where it's needed. But I think by putting it onto max, I'll find it now a little bit harder to push. That certainly will give you a workout if you use it on max, but it was certainly lifting up the carpet a great deal more than it was on the minimum setting. So you'll get better performance using max, but you might find it's very hard to push. And this is just a very low pile carpet. I've got a deeper pile carpet as well, and I think on that it will be really difficult to push. So all in all, so far the Musclehead seems to be the easiest one to use. But we'll have to see when I do the actual demo, we'll see which one performs better, if there is any adjustments. Like I say, I'll try it on pet hair with the Musclehead. I don't know if it's going to perform any better than the standard head, but in my experience, a straight suction head isn't very good on pet hair. You do need either an upright cleaner or at least a revolving brush with an air-powered nozzle, or even better, a motorised nozzle, but they're few and far between in the UK, and certainly Dyson currently do not make a canister vacuum with a motorised head. They did in the past, but not anymore. Anyway, that's all I can show you for today ahead of the full demo, but I will be putting this Dyson through its paces. I expect with the regular head it will perform much the same as the other DC28C. It will be interesting though in the video to see whether this Musclehead performs any better. If you have any questions about this Dyson, please ask below, and don't forget, please subscribe and please stay tuned for the next video. So until the next time, bye for now, and I'll see you soon.